Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Bihata Nishacharachamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha. Ramannasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham. Rame Chittalayas Sada Bhavatu Me Bho Rama Mamuddhara Samasta Janakalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahma Vidvaram Satgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Ishavasyamidagum sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagate tena tyaktena bhunjithaha magrudah kasya svidhanam kuruvanneveha karmani jijivishechatagum samaha evam tvai nanyatetosti nakarma lipyate nare. We had seen the first mantra of Ishavasya. The first line of first mantra was the Tattva Upadesha. Ishavasyam idagam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat. This is the nature of truth. That this whole creation of names and forms has consciousness as its substratum. And knowledge should make that sadhaka cover all names and forms with knowledge. Cover all names and forms with knowledge of the substratum, which is consciousness. The example was sandalwood covering the smell, which is incidental on top of it. So that smell has come about because of all other upadhis. They are not inherent to that sandalwood. Like that, ahankara, thinking that I am doer, I am enjoyer, or I am experiencer, is all result of erroneous thinking that one should correct using this knowledge. World has independent reality. That is another expression of ignorance. Upanishad mantra said, correct that understanding. Ishavasyam idagam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat. For somebody who has done thorough Shravanam and has really understood this is the goal of life and this is the path also. For that person, Upanishad says, don't waste your time here and there. Tena tyaktena bhunjitaha. Take sannyasa right away from all other things and focus on this goal. That commitment, if you are really seeking, or if that goal you are really seeking, what it demands is this commitment. This is not a new idea. We chant it all the time, but we don't connect it sometimes with this context. Na karmana, na prajaya, dhanena, Tyage naike amrutatvamanashuhu. Na karmana means which Ashana is karmana there? We saw there are three Ashanas, right? Which are the three Ashanas? Putreshana, Vitteshana, Lokeshana. So in that mantra, what does karmana refer to? Okay, let us look at the other one. Prajaya refers to what? Which Ashana? Putreshana. Putreshana. Prajaya there means progeny. And Dhanena refers to Vitteshana. So what is left? Lokeshana. So na karmana there refers to Lokeshana. Not seeking too much of recognition outside, not making that as goal of life. Tyagena eke amrutatva manashu. Tyagena ekena. Through sannyasa alone, this amrutatvam is attained. So Bhagavan emphasized that point. He said, appreciate the meaning of the word sannyasa. Giving up of lower for the higher goal and stepping out of our comfort zone. Then came the last quarter. Ma grudaha kasya svidhanam. Even if somebody has appreciated the goal, he has done Shravanam, understood Brahman should be my goal, this is how I should attain it, taken sannyasa also, withdrawn from outer things. But now and then, his previous vasanas will come and bother. Now and then, mind will get sidetracked. See, Bhagavan in third chapter said, Jnaninaha nitya vairana. Desire and anger are nitya vairi, eternal enemies of a jnani. He did not say ajnani, because in an ajnani, anger and desire doesn't have much to do. Rather, ajnani sees anger and desire as his friend, not as enemy. So there he doesn't have much to lose, but he says jnani is somebody who has gained this knowledge after a lot of hard work, several janmas he has spent. Now this knowledge has come and these enemies are bothering him. There the Upanishad mantra said, Ma grudaha kasya svidhanam. Put forth effort in such a way that we don't have shobana buddhi in jagat. We try to converse, educate with this mind to make it appreciate nothing in this world is worth setting as a goal. Nothing in this world is worth setting as goal of life. That education he has given his mind. Ma grudaha kasya svidhanam. That was one meaning. Remove shobana adhyasa. Then the second one was two meanings we saw. I'm just recapping whatever we saw. Second meaning was, if you have understood nature of world to be mithya, on the strength of that understanding, don't go after things. Ma grudaha kasya svidhanam means if everything is Atma, that Atma you are, and whatever Nama Rupa is appearing is mithya, then what is there in this creation which is unattained? So again, go back to the fundamentals of what Vedanta is trying to tell us and start thinking in line with Vedanta. This point we had seen earlier also on Mahatmaji's simple definition of sadhana. He said, Nazar milana sadhana hai. Nazar milana means our perspective is one, Upanishad perspective is something else. Making sure that both perspectives align. That is our main sadhana in Jnana Marga. So with this, our first mantra, those were the key points which are mentioned over here. First mantra reflection was completed. Then somebody who is not ready for mantra 1 yet, means Ishavasyopanishad sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat, that understanding is very difficult for that person to grasp. So here we saw multiple reasons why it could happen that way. Either teaching was not available. So this understanding that everything is Isha, that itself will not be known. Or that sadhaka did not do vichara. So if it doesn't feel the urgency for this knowledge yet. Vichara means he has not thought about certain facets of life and seen the limitations in the world. Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmana. So that parikshanam has not happened. So that knowledge will not appear very appealing yet. If somebody is in this stage, for that sadhaka, what do Upanishads advise? That is the second mantra. First mantra is Jnana Nishtha. If you want to abide in this self, what is the path? If somebody feels I'm not there yet, but I want to go there. Second mantra is Karma Nishtha. Yasya bhumau nipatitah tam alambya vimuchyate. Whichever ground a person has slipped and fallen, he has to take support of the same ground to get up. So because of karma, either doing it in erroneous ways or whichever reason, he is not ready for jnana yet. But if he wants to become ready for jnanam, the support he has to take is karma only. Yasya bhumau nipatitah tam alambya vimuchyate. Whichever ground, this is one Subhashita saying, wherever a person has fallen, holding on to that same thing, one has to get up. So what is this injunction for that person who wants to be ready for jnanam, wants to be ready for knowledge, but right now doesn't feel he is ready? Kurvan eva. Sandhi you can split now. Kurvan eva iha karmani. By doing actions alone, one should look forward. One should desire to live 100 years. Kurvan eva iha karmani jiji vishet shatam samaha. Jiji vishet shatam samaha. If you are attending Sanskritam class, all Sandhi revisions will happen here. Kurvan eva became Kurvan neva. And Jiji Vishet Shatam became Jiji Vishet Chatam. Okay. Don't worry if you are unfamiliar with these names. So some might have a question. Why is it chanted sometimes at Shatam Samaha and Shatagam Samaha? So that Anuswara is pronounced as Gam. When certain rules apply, that Anuswara is pronounced as Gam. So just like Jiji Vishet Shatam Samaha is also correct. Or you can say Jiji Vishet Shatagam Samaha. Only that Anuswara was pronounced as Gam. Now next line, you have to split carefully. Evam Twayi na anyatha na anyatha na anyatha itah asti. Nanyathe tosti is there, right? So that will split as na anyatha itah asti. Other than this, understanding of Karma Yoga, over here there is nothing else. Nothing else for what? Nothing else by which you will not be affected by karma. Na karma lipyate nare. Na karma lipyate nare. Evam tvayi na anyatha itah asti na karma lipyate nare. Now actually this one mantra has 3 sentences. Okay, which means, you know how words in Sanskrit are written, right? Verses in Sanskrit are written. They are bound by something called as vibhakti. So you can arrange the words in any order. Meaning will not change. What was the example we had seen? Rama goes to forest. Rama goes to forest. You cannot say forest is gone by Rama. Means you have to say in the same order. Subject, object, and verb. Rama goes to forest. Or subject, verb, and then object. That is the sequence. But in Sanskrit, you can arrange the words in any way. Ramaha vanam gacchati. Vanam gacchati Ramaha. Vanam Ramaha gacchati. Everything will have the same meaning. Like that, words in this mantra are also a little bit here and there. I think it's easier if you write it rather than just marking it as 1, 2, 3. Okay. Generally, Anvaya, you can also mark it with numbers. Word is already there. You can just say what is the first word, second word, third word. But this mantra is a little complicated for that. So you can just write the 3 sentences. First sentence is Tvayi nare. Tvayi nare karma na lipyate. Tvayi nare karma na lipyate. Evam karmani kurvan eva. Evam karmani kurvan eva. Iha shatam samaha jijivishet. Iha shatam samaha jijivishet. Evam karmani kurvan eva. Iha shatam samaha jijivishet. First one was Tvayi nare karma na lipyate. Second sentence is Evam karmani kurvan eva iha shatam samaha jijivishet. Then itaha anyatha na asti. Itaha anyatha na asti. Okay, so now look at the meaning again. Tvayi nare karma na lipyate. In you, there will be no lepa of karma. There will be no taint of karma. Find out some ways to live your life, some technique of living your life such that, in spite of doing actions, you are not affected or bound by those actions. Evam karmani kurvan eva. Doing karmas in this way alone, one should strive to live 100 years. Shatagam samaha jijivishet. Holding on to this understanding alone, one should strive to live 100 years. Itaha anyatha na asti. Other than this, there is no path. Either hold on to jnanam or hold on to karma. And within karma also, other than karma yoga, there is no other way by which you will be free from bondage of karma. So this is where we had seen different points in the last session. Upanishad mantra first is telling us one should not live an indulgent tamasic life of inertia, where one doesn't feel like doing anything, or what one has to do that he doesn't do. So first thing is one should do karma. But doing karma, that alone cannot be injunction of Upanishads. So within karma, what type of karma should I do? Based on the role I have taken, whatever duties have come along with it, that karma one has to do. And some nitya karma, regular duties which are there. In Vedanta Sara language, nitya karma, naimittika karma, prayaschitta and upasana. Based on roles we have taken, duties will come. That is nitya karma. Once in a while, we'll have to do something out of our way because of sense of duty only, but that thing doesn't happen every time. That thing is called as naimittika karma. Somebody needs care, somebody needs help. So that will be our naimittika karma, one has to do. If we miss our nitya karma someday, do some prayaschitta. Something should be there which reminds us that it's not okay to miss nitya karma. And the last one is upasana, spending some time turning mind towards the Lord. So doing karma is one thing, but Upanishad said we should do sat karma. Sat karma. Now doing sat karma is good. But the main or one of the catch there is, if somebody does satkarma without being alert about abhimana, without being alert of ahankara, that same satkarma can come and bind this person. So Bhagavad Gita chapter 3, Bhagavan is taking us one step further there. He said, I'm glad you are doing karma. Also glad you are doing satkarma. Now you can also do karma yoga. Same karma only, huh? Karma yoga is not some new type of karma he is doing. Whatever he was doing earlier, nitya, naimittika, prayaschitta, upasana, all of that karma he does with a new perspective now. This is where Bhagavan said, Yajñarthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. Tadhartam karma kaunteya Muktasangha Samachara. This is where we had left off last session. Muktasangha Samachara. So injunction of this mantra is one should live a life doing karma yoga. So the two words which are summarizing the whole karma yoga is Muktasangha and Samachara. Muktasangha means what? Muktasangha is somebody who has found an altar in life. Who has found an altar in life, dedicating to that altar, he does every action. From that, what happened? He said, whatever attachment could have come to that work, from that he got mukti. Sangha means attachment. Mukta Sangha means freedom from attachment. But it is not possible unless that person has found something higher to offer to as an altar. If he does karma staying at his own individual level, very quickly he'll get bound by that work. Puja Guruji has a quote where he says, an altar in life alters your life. An altar in life alters our life. That is this Mukta Sangata. It is easy for him to start something. It is easy for him to stop something also. Otherwise, one of the nature of Sangha is, if we have taken it up based on our own likes and dislikes, so it is easy to start, but very easy to slow down, very difficult to slow down, very difficult to stop. So Muktasangha is somebody who has taken because of sankalpa of his altar. Now that altar can be his teacher. Altar can be somebody in whom he has Shraddha. I always remember one Swamiji, not from here, somewhere in India. They were building some big ashram complex. And they built. And sometimes the main preceptor who is there, he will not pay attention to details, what they are doing. Now, inauguration day, he came. And something had happened because of which he didn't want that building to be there. He said, demolish this whole thing. And this Swamiji had worked hard for 5-10 years to gather all the funds, mobilize resources. He said, all of this should go. No questions asked. He said it should go, means it should go. That is Muktasangha. I have taken up this work because my teacher gave me. But if he tells me to stop, the day he tells me to stop, I will stop. So that bhavana this person has, with which he is free from that work. Second aspect of Muktasangata is purity of intent. While doing any work, his bhavana is very shuddha. There is always a spirit of giving in and through every action. Action might be very same or very ordinary also. But in and through that action, he is always thinking, what can I give? That sadhaka is free from sangha to karma. Also sangha to karma phala, that he is free from. That was one facet of karma yoga. What was the other word? Samachara. Now to open the word Samachara, there are two facets or two things which we should pay attention to in Samachara. Samachara means doing work very well. Doing work with a touch of divinity. Which work Bhagavan doesn't mention. He says if this becomes somebody's personality, every single work that he does will be the same way. Karma Yoga is not a particular action. It is every action done with a different perspective. So if one has to be Samachara, it is that the first thing which matters the most is amount of work that this sadhaka has done. Proportion of work. Puja Gurudev's quote, he says, every work demands its own quota of efforts. Every work demands its own quota of effort. If we don't put that much of effort, the result will not be seen. Or if we give up halfway, the result will not come. So for Samachara, this is the first facet. What is the matra? Matra means amount of work. Understanding how much time we should give ourselves to really take roots in that particular work. Meaning whenever we feel like quitting something, we should ask ourselves, for how much time have I been doing that thing? And very often we'll realize whatever duration we should give that work, that we have not given yet. So before that, it is said, don't quit. Best example for this is bamboo. Have you seen how a bamboo tree grows? It is that for the first 3 years, it's working only on its roots. And the tree will be hardly a few feet tall. 3 years, you have to keep watering, keep giving whatever it needs. It will grow hardly few feet. But after 3 years, it grows at the rate of 3 feet per day. Means suddenly, within few weeks, it grows very tall. That is this matra. Different work that we have taken up, or different things that we are doing right now, including spiritual goal. If we say Sanskritam is very difficult, what question should we ask? Have we put forth sufficient effort for that subject to open up? And giving ourselves that much time, giving ourselves whatever time that subject needs. This is the matra, amount of effort. And it is true with any other goal also. Say a student might be very, very intelligent, but whichever exam is going to write, that exam will demand certain preparation, which he cannot reduce too much. Quantity is important. Matra of work is important. Those who prepare for medical exam, civil service, in spite of being very capable, say 8 hours they have to study, without which Samachara will not happen. Samachara means doing something diligently, but behind that diligence, there is a lot of quantity of work that has gone in. Second facet of Samachara is Kushalata. Kushalta means dexterity. First one was Matra. Second one is dexterity. Kushalata. See, Mahatmas, they have given us everything in a very simple format. What did Gurudev say for Kushalta? He said, keep your mind where your hands are. Very simple. He said, keep your mind where your hands are. It could be a very simple thing like talking to a child, but keeping our mind in that particular action. That is what brings about Kushalata. And person who is Kushala, whatever that person does looks very effortless. Kushalta, one of the indicator is, or one of the expression is, whatever that person does looks beautiful, of course, but it looks very effortless, as though anybody can do it. See, a magician, when he does that tricks and all, right? Some of them, it is so nicely done. That is Kushalta. But you look at it, you say, oh, this magic, once you know the trick, anybody can do. You say it is not like that. He has put sufficient matra before, put sufficient hours before, and very diligent while doing it also. About Gurudev, it is said, even if you would peel a banana, it would be a sight to watch. How he would do it. That is the expression of Kushalta. Everything done with mind in that thing. See, even if you read verses composed by our teachers, Mahatmas, when they have composed verses, there is so much of sweetness to it. Right? You read Bhagavad Gita shlokas, read any compositions by Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji. But then you start learning Chandas. How to compose shlokas is very difficult. To find the right word, to find the right meter. There are so many rules on top of that meter. We should appreciate their Kushalta. How they have composed these verses in such a simple way and so much of beauty. But before that, there is a lot of matra also which is needed. And you see there Muktasangha. whichever work they composed, still we are debating who composed it. No byline, no name. This is Karma Yoga, having Samachara or being Samachara and Muktasangha. Okay. Muktasangha, we need an altar and purity of intent. And for Samachara, we need matra, right amount of work, and kushalata in that work. Kushalata is one way of saying that we really care for this work. If a person doesn't care for some work, it will be very akushala. Things left halfway. Even this IKEA manual, right? Have you seen how kushala it is? Means even an ordinary person can assemble a big sofa. Means constantly thinking about how will the other person receive. There is spirit of Karma Yoga even there. What is the other way to say? I will make a sofa. I don't care how they assemble, how they take. Person who is Karma Yogi, he is doing it, but at the same time thinking, how will the other person receive? Okay. So those are different facets. Now in Ramcharitamanas, Bhagavan Rama gives a beautiful example of Karma Yoga. Ravana's army is defeated. Everybody is defeated almost. And Ravana alone is fighting with Bhagavan. And he's continuously bragging about how great he is, what all things he has done. Bhagavan says, "O Ravana, in this world there are 3 types of people. First type is those who only talk, don't work. No work, only talking. Second category is those who talk and work. Those who will talk and work. Third one is those who will only work, not talk." Says we should strive to be the third category. That person is called a Karma Yogi. Anything, whichever has to be done, whatever has to be done. Let's say a school has to be built. First person, only talk, no work. Oh yes, schools have to be built. Education has to be strengthened. Second one will go and build a school. But he'll tell everybody, I built this. If I was not there, school would not be built. Third one will only build and say, may Bhagwan be pleased with us. You know where this comes? This is 90th Doha in Lanka Kanda. I wrote the chandas. It's very nice. You just listen. Don't need to write. Jani jalpana kari suja suna sahi niti sunahi karihi chama. Sansara mahapurusha tribida patala rasalapana sasama. He says, "O Ravana, why are you speaking so much about yourself and destroying your punya? Jani jalpana kari suja suna sahi. Don't you know this fact? That if you talk about yourself, your punya karma goes down. Haven't you heard the story of Yayati Raja, who went to Swarga and had to share the seat with Indra? Indra did not like it, kept praising him. Every time he praised and every time Yayati spoke about himself, he was getting pushed a little bit out from that throne. And he had to come down from Swarga. Haven't you heard about people like this? Bhagavan is asking for forgiveness. He says, don't feel like I'm advising you. I'm just telling something in your well-being. Niti sunahi karahi chama. Bhagavan Rama is asking forgiveness from Ravana. Samsara mahapurusha tribida. In this world, there are 3 types of people. Patala rasala panasa sama. One is like trumpet flower. You know what is trumpet flower, right? The long one that you see. Second are like mango flower. Mango fruit. And third are like breadfruit. Panasa means breadfruit. Eka sumana prada. Trumpet flower has fragrance, but no fruit. Eka sumana phala. Mango tree has flowers and also fruit. Eka phalai kevala lagahi. Third one, breadfruit, is only fruit, nothing else. Like that, he says there are three people. Eka kahahi. One person only talks. Kahahi karahi. Second person talks and he does. Third person apara eka karahi kahatana bhagahi. Third person only does, only works, but does not talk. Says that is karma yoga in a nutshell. This is our Goswamiji. Very, very precise, very beautiful. So this was the meaning of the first line. Kurvan neveha karmani jiji vishe shatakam samaha. Upanishad is not telling us only to do karma, not only satkarma, but karma yoga. So kurvan eva, that eva word refers to karma yoga eva. Not only karma eva. Now, second line you see, evam tvai nanyate tosti na karma lipyate nare. Nare, tvai nare, karma na lipyate. So that line we have to reflect a little bit now. What is lepa of karma? Upanishad said, if you do karma yoga, you will not have lepa of karma. Lepa means layer or taint of karma. But how does karma do lepa? How does karma bind us? First thing karma binds us is by producing karma phala. Karma binds a person because karma produces karma phala. So much so that even if this person doesn't want, he will still have to take future birth to experience result of those actions. That is the first way karma binds, by producing karma phala. And when that karma phala comes, nobody can say no also. Even if he is father of Bhagavan Ram, he said karma phala can come in the same court where Bhagavan is there next to him and everything being there. See, Itihasa Purana, that is one of their main point. Whatever is not clear in Upanishad will be elaborated in Itihasa and Purana. Karma is a bondage. Upanishad will make only one small statement. How it is a bondage? One should see it in Itihasa and Purana. So first reason is it produces karma phala. Through karma phala, it will bind. Second one is karma increases rajoguna. Which type of karma? That karma which is not offered to Bhagavan. That karma which you have taken up without an altar and don't have anybody to whom we can offer that karma. Says that karma will increase rajoguna, it will increase pride. And the result of rajoguna is anger and agitation. Bhagavan Krishna goes one step forward. He says, Rajasasya phalam dukkham. The result of rajoguna, he says, is sorrow. This person can reach the topmost position. In spite of reaching there, whatever problem he has is the same as any ordinary person. Like in the case of Daksha Prajapati. Reached such a top position, but he feels insulted because Lord Shiva did not stand up. Means that insult which ordinary person in this earth also feels. That kind of emotion of anger, agitation, which anybody feels, same thing Daksha Prajapati is also feeling. In spite of having gone to such a great position. So that is the second lepa of karma. Increases rajoguna, brings pride in a person. And repeatedly, if there is success, repeatedly if his desires are getting fulfilled, since that brings even more pride. All those 6 things that we see, right? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada. That is this one. Mada means this feeling, I can do whatever I want. That is the second lepa of karma. Third lepa is, lepa word you have understood, right? Lepa means taint. How does karma taint an individual? Upanishad said, Tvai nare karma na lipyate. If you do karma yoga, karma will not taint. But first we should appreciate how it is tainting right now. Third one is karma increases doership. Karma increases kartrutva. Whatever this individual does, if somebody asks him who did it, his first answer is I did it. And what is Upanishad wanting to tell us? You are akarta, you are abhokta. You are not a doer, you are not enjoyer. So more karma he does unintelligently. To that extent, he is obstructing his own spiritual journey. Hindi they say, apne pair par kuladi marna. Hitting your own foot with the axe means that sadhaka who could have gone and abided in his own nature as akarta abhokta, that actionless self, that is obstructing himself because of erroneous ways of doing karma. So much so that on one hand, Vedanta Shravanam also will happen. You are akarta abhokta. On other hand, you will feel Vedanta is not working. If it is not working, it is not working for a reason. Right? And that is, karma is being done in some erroneous way, which is fanning this kartrutva more and more, not going to benefit him in his spiritual goal. Okay, so that is the third way how karma binds. The last one is karma which is done unintelligently, which is not done with karma yoga buddhi, as we saw earlier. Very, very difficult to slow down, very, very difficult to stop. It is just like a big iron ball rolling down a slope. To start it is difficult, but once it starts rolling, you cannot stop it. Like that is his condition right now. So whatever karma he has started, doesn't see anything beyond it. That is one lepa of karma, whereas Upanishad is telling karma yoga was the first part. You have to transition to the next one, or karma was the first part, transition to the next one, which is karma yoga. That will lead us to jnanam. So he feels for several years, for several decades, several lifespans, he's going round and round in the same place. Nadyam kitaha ivavartaha. Like that scorpion which has fallen in water, it's caught in a whirlpool. Again and again, going in the same thing. Some saint who is sitting on the corner of that river bank, he goes and pulls it out. What does scorpion do? Sting that person and go back again. This is in Panchadashi. Huh? So this is how life of a jiva is. Unless we appreciate why we are doing karma, we will feel we are going round and round in the same place. So purpose of karma, externally for a sadhaka, there is zero purpose. For a sadhaka, the main purpose of karma is how much has my personality opened up? How much have you become accepting? And how much has Muktasangha and Samachara both come in that sadhaka? This is with that one will get prepared for knowledge. Now the beauty is, Lepa of karma is there, that is true. But you see the greatness of Nara Deha. Only in Nara Deha, only in a human form, do we have this ability to grow out of this Lepa. That is why the word has come, Na karma lipyate nare. Nare means this karma yoga, to do it with this bhavana. It is possible only with human body. So much so that even devatas cannot do this karma yoga. Because there is so much of bhoga, so much of enjoyment. This buddhi doesn't come that we have to do karma yoga and strive for something higher. Next mantra, Bhagavan Shankaracharya is going to write very strong line. But let us see when we come there. But now what we are thinking or reflecting upon is the greatness of Nara Deha. Even compared to devatas, human birth is greater than devatas. One Mahatmaji would explain this with a simple example. He said, let us say you have a job offer. You have a job offer. First one will pay $100 a month. Second one will pay $1,000 a month. First one will pay $100. Second one will pay $1,000. Which one do you think this person will go for? $1,000, right? But let us say if somebody says that $100 job which is there, if you work hard and your employer is pleased, every time he is pleased, your pay is doubled. If you please your employer, then 100 will go to 200, 200 will go to 400, 800, 1600, and so on. He said, now tell me which one will you choose? Person who is hardworking will choose the first one. He says, getting that $100 job with incremental pay is Manushya Deha. Human birth is like that. Work hard, do karma, results are multifold. $1,000 job is getting Devata Sharira. Means one-time pay. Same thing. And at whatever point Punya karmas are done, he has to come back again. Gain more Punya here, then do whatever he has to do. Says that is this Manushya Deha. If you have gained it, Bhagavan Shankaracharya in Vivek Chudamani praises it so much. He says very, very difficult to get. But what is the main purpose? Become Muktasangha. Become free from this taint of karma. Find an altar in life where we can offer all our actions. Okay, so different facets we saw. One last point before we enter Bhashya. Somebody might say, what is the main benefit of this karma yoga? As far as knowledge is concerned, what is the main benefit of karma yoga? It is that only the person who has done his duties well, only the person who has tasted the bliss of karma yoga, that person will see limitations in kartrutva. Only that person who has tasted the bliss of selfless work, who has seen joy in giving, not in getting, that person will see limitations in strong doership. Otherwise, his source of joy is the doership only. He has not recognized a stage where he feels even without this doership, I can be very happy. If one can have an altar and do karmas offering to that altar. Okay. And if somebody can bring the spirit of karma yoga in their life, nitya karma is done. All of that will free that person from vasanas. When this mind unattended, very quickly it will run towards all other erroneous things. So if he has worked on his mind and has taken up some nitya karma, does prayashchitta if he misses nitya karma, that person will be freed from bondage of vasanas. But the second point, or the first point what we discussed, that we should reflect upon more. What does karma yoga do? It reminds us of the futility of kartrutva. It reminds us of the limitations of kartrutva, shortcomings of kartrutva. That person can go further. Okay, now our general reflection on the mantra is complete, like how we did for mantra 1 also. So even if we don't get a lot of bhashya part, whatever has to be discussed on that mantra, in English only we discussed. Okay, so don't get overwhelmed. Bhashya is a little difficult then. Let us just read the bhashya, the first 2 lines. Let us read. 16 page number. Evam atma vidah putradi eshanatraya sanyasena atmajnana nishthataya atma rakshitavyah ityesha vedarthah atha itarasya anatmajnataya atmagrahana atmagраhanaya ashaktasya idam upadishati mantrah kurvanne veti evam atmavidah. See, Bhagavan is calling that person atmavidah, the one who is fit for first Upanishad mantra or first mantra of Ishavasyopanishad. He says that person is atmavidah. He has heard about nature of Atma. He has understood what Upanishad wants to say, but his knowledge has not ripened yet. For that person, what was said? Putradi eshanatraya sanyasena. Take sannyasa, drop all other desires. Atma jnana nishthataya. Everything is tritiya vibhakti here. Means instrument. If you want Atma jnana nishtha, we say the instrument is sannyasa. Cause is sannyasa. Atma jnana nishthataya, through this abidance in the self, Atma rakshitavya. One should protect this knowledge of Atma. Whatever new knowledge we have gained, protect it through sannyasa and a lifestyle which is conducive for sannyasa, for Atmanishtha. Iti eshaha vedartha. This is the main understanding, main message of the previous mantra. Atha itarasya. Now, for the other person. Who is this other person? Anatmajnataya. Means one whose mind is not prepared yet. One who doesn't feel the need for spiritual knowledge, doesn't appreciate it as much. Or he has not gotten the teaching by which this knowledge becomes clear that everything is Isha. Atma grahanaya ashaktasya. The one who is not capable of grasping the essence of Atma. One who is not capable of paying attention to Vedanta Shravanam. For that person, idam upadishati mantra. For him, the next mantra is given, kurvan nevya iti. One commentator, he says, if Atma is all-pervading, and Atma is me, myself, then how come somebody can be ashakta in knowing Atma? You say, if it was something else somewhere, I could understand. But if it is right here and now, how can somebody be ashakta in knowing that Atma? Means if somebody is seeing the water and he says, I am incapable of, somebody is seeing the wave and he says, I am incapable of seeing water. You say, how? If you are seeing the wave, water is right there. But then he says, just like when you are intoxicated, you cannot recognize your own people. Somebody who is intoxicated, he cannot recognize his own people, searches them everywhere, searches for his own house. This is like that. There is intoxication of Maya. Moha Madira, that is the word he uses. That intoxication of Maya is so powerful that Atma, in spite of being so close, either appreciation doesn't come for that knowledge, or in spite of listening, one is unable to turn attention there. So next session, we'll see the Bhashya. Some new ideas will be there, but most of the ideas we have seen in this summary also. Okay. Next week, we will have Tuesday class. Yes. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.